The Women of Vision Awards is an annual event organized by the non-profit organization CMF, which aims to recognize exceptional women and girls from across Africa who are leading and transforming their communities through education. This year's awards took place at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, and Meghan took to the stage to present an award at the event. But things did not go quite as planned for Meghan when she started to address the audience. The former actress, who wore a red Hervé Ledger bandage dress, was met with loud boos and heckling from some members of the audience as she tried to make her speech. Some audience members were heard shouting, "Why don't you go back to America? We don't want to hear from you," from their seats. Meghan appeared to be stunned by the very negative welcome. The very visibly flustered Duchess plowed through her prepared remarks, did not take any questions, and quickly exited the stage after her remarks were complete. Meghan was said to be absolutely furious and deeply embarrassed by the heckling she received, according to sources close to Meghan. One insider told us that Meghan was mortified to be booed in front of the amazing women and girls who were being honored that evening, and felt that the reception she got took away their moment to shine. It was also said Meghan felt very silenced and wasn't allowed to defend herself by event organizers after things took a turn for the worse. As she stood on stage, she reportedly asked several times, "Why didn't anyone take away the microphone from the hecklers?" She wanted to know why there weren't more security measures in place and why the people who were hosting the event and her team didn't step in and end the yelling and booing immediately. Per our sources, Meghan was already nervous and anxious about making her first public appearance since she and Prince Harry stepped back as senior members of the royal family in spring 2020. She didn't expect this level of hostility and, in speaking about empowering women and girls through education, she was disheartened that she could be booed and jeered at instead of cheered for her efforts. After the initial heckling video went viral, there was much speculation about what triggered the disdain from some in the crowd. It was suggested that it was in relation to Meghan's and husband Prince Harry's decision to exit the immediate line of royal succession and move to the States. There are many Brits who didn't take kindly to the royals leaving, and many more who took issue with Markle's line of discussion in the clip. The couple obviously also poked fun at their former femme on Oprah Winfrey in a tense sit-down last year, which did little to endear them to some royal loyalists. However, others noted while it was likely there were some British citizens in attendance, this was an international American event. Meghan and Harry supporters from across the pond and across the globe were present as well. It was unlikely this was about a woman of color shirking royal responsibilities to maple syrup country. No, attendees on site claimed they didn't appreciate a wealthy celebrity claiming she has a rough life and inserting herself into serious topics. There were even some folks online proclaiming it wasn't Meghan anymore that these fans of royalty have a problem with. Still, some say that segments of the public have grown more and more hostile to figures like Meghan, who have become increasingly vocal on social and political issues, like feminism and racial equality. And so, it was that her very presence was enough to elicit some boos from people who are less than enamored with the concept of woke celebrity activism. Whatever the case may be, the heckling was a blight on what should have been a momentous occasion, to celebrate some of the most influential women of the past year. It did, however, shine a light on the vitriol that continues to follow the Sussexes since their decision to step away from royal duties. And while many continue to revere and champion Meghan, she remains a deeply polarizing figure for many others. Meghan and her camp initially remained tight-lipped on what exactly had occurred the day after the fact, and camp itself declined to respond to Romper's request for information. However, Meghan's friends did not hold back, one telling reporters that the Duchess felt it was unfair for the event organizers to have failed to secure her security and comfort, given her stellar profile. A second friend echoed the sentiments, noting that it felt to her that she was back in the grind of the intense discriminatory media racism and sexism that characterized the later years of her British royal life. Being just out there and realizing so much animosity, even hostility, still outrightly exists to her was shaking to Meghan, who was suddenly transported back to the extreme racially motivated and misogynistic hate she experienced as a working member of the royal family. While it was a painful experience for Meghan, it didn't stop her from carrying out charitable work on some of her most favored causes just this weekend, from tackling gender equality to helping communities in need. A mere 3 days after the heckling at the Women of Vision Awards, where she was one of the evening's award recipients, the Duchess delivered the keynote speech at the 2022 New York City MetroPlus Health Foundation Gala, in which she talked about the steps we need to take to build a more equal world. She didn't mention the heckling at the awards, nor should being the bigger person be necessary, but it shows just how far Meghan has truly come from her days as a faltering, first-time working royal. She said of her approach that experiencing setbacks is the only way you can ever find yourself, worth and strength. Lovato continued, contending for any one of us, and I couldn't have done it without my higher power, my friends, family, and everyone who supported me. I love you.